Hello, my dear friends. My name is Harold, and welcome to the Sanctum, your gateway into learning and exploring the ancient wisdom of the East and the West. Now, in this particular video, I'm going to talk a little bit more about guardian spirits and what they actually are, and 5 different kinds or varieties of guardian spirits. So, first of all, let's talk about what a guardian spirit actually is. So, a guardian spirit is essentially a spirit, which is a form of energy, which is subtler in nature in comparison to our physical body. And as I've mentioned in the other videos in the series, we are essentially spirits, but with a physical body. So, a guardian spirit is a particular form of energy that guides us in a particular way, right? That guides and protects us in our life and in our spiritual journey. And there are various spiritual entities that may be guiding us towards our purpose or towards our eventual liberation. So, some of these guardian spirits we may receive from birth, others we may connect to over a certain period of time. So now let's take a look at 5 different guardian spirits that may be helping us right now. So the first one is often called the Holy Guardian Angel. So the Holy Guardian Angel is actually more of a hermetic name to this particular spirit. Now, another name for this spirit, as coined by the Theosophers as well as Carl Jung uses this term, is the higher self. Some people even like to call it, in the yogic tradition, is called Atma or Atman, depending on from which area or which region of India the philosophy originated. So the Atma or Atman can also be associated with the higher self or holy guardian angel. So the holy guardian angel is essentially a higher spirit that we receive from the moment that we are born. And in some traditions, they say that this is connected to your soul and that this is essentially you, your spirit, but a higher version, a higher vibrationary aspect of yourself that knows everything about you, that is guiding you, that's protecting you from birth and ensuring you're going in the right way. The Holy Guardian Angel ensures that you are going towards fulfilling your great work or your purpose here in physical existence, as well as protecting you from harm and unneeded things. So your higher self can look at the bigger picture of what is happening in your life, while as you may not know what's happening in your life. When something happens, whether it's positive or negative, you may think, oh, why did this thing happen to me? Your guardian angel knows, and knows that it's guiding you towards where you need to be. Now, different people may experience their holy guardian angel in different ways. Some people say that when they reach union, or what is often called knowledge and conversation of the holy guardian angel, that they actually see a guardian angel that's guiding them in their mind, maybe even in front of them, like a golden silhouette, a golden figure, or an angel or something like that. And for other people, it's like an experience of communication through reality itself, like an extreme sense of synchronicity, where the universe is speaking to them and really guiding them in a particular way, really giving them the answers to and the guidance that they need in their spiritual journey. So some people experience it like that. Some people experience the guardian angel as an actual voice in their head guiding them in a particular way. Other people may even experience the guardian angel as an entity that communicates with them through dreams. Other people, it may manifest through people. For some people, it could be a mixture of all of these things that I say. This is essentially a very high vibrationary aspect of yourself that is an individuation of the eternal spirit or union consciousness of the universe individuated as you, within you, to guide you in your experience. So, the second class of guardian spirits that I'd like to talk about are known as protector deities. So now protector deities are often seen in every tradition. There is some kind of protector deity, and protector deities are essentially any kind of god or spirit that is protecting a lineage, right? And guides seekers who are following that particular path associated with that tradition. Now, every tradition has some kind of protector deity, but I'm specifically going to talk about Tibetan protector deities, as they're very close to me and something that I have a lot more experience in. But it'll be almost impossible to name all of them. So just as an example, I will talk about Tibetan protector deities, which are often called Dharma palers or Dharma protectors, who are guardians of the law of Buddhism, right? In Buddhism, there are all sorts of Dharma palers or Dharma protectors, such as Palden Lamo or Sri Devi, Yamaraja, as well as Kurukula. All sorts of protector deities are protectors of the Dharma, and these particular deities protect the lineages of Buddhism. Particular lineages have very particular Dharma protectors, and seekers and followers who are initiated into those particular lineages and traditions often begin to be connected with one of these Dharma protectors, who end up protecting them and guiding them on the path, on that particular lineage, the path of that lineage to ultimate realization. So why would this be useful? Well, first of all, it ensures that an individual who is on that path is protected, as well as some of these protected deities may help an individual improve their meditation by protecting them while they're meditating from intrusions and distractions and negative influences and psychic attacks and all of this stuff, as well as being a guardian and a guide on the path within the lineage that they are on, so that they can be very, very powerful. And in the Tibetan tradition, there are two different kinds of Dharma protectors. One are associated with called wisdom protectors, and these wisdom protectors are considered to be enlightened beings that are guiding individuals on that path. The next class of guardian spirits I'd like to talk about are ones that many people are aware of and talk about on YouTube, which are spirit guides. So now spirit guides could be any form of entity that could be guiding us. It could be passed away loved ones, there could be loved ones from past lives, there could be spiritual people like monks or nuns or priests or yogis who are guiding individuals. There could be gods and goddesses and deities and dakas and dakinis and all sorts of various entities that could be guiding an individual in a particular way. Some of these spirit guides, an individual may have some kind of karmic connection to them, and for that reason they are being guided in a particular way by these particular people or entities. Now, spirit guides can even protect the individual from harm to a certain degree, as well as guide them towards where they need to be. So they've got a similar role as guardian spirits as the other two. The next one I would like to talk about are spirit animals. Now, this is often something that you hear a lot about in shamanic and animistic traditions, and different lineages and traditions talk about spirit animals in a different way. So I'm only going to talk about it in certain lineages of shamanism, where they talk about how an individual, as soon as they are born, they receive a spirit animal, and a spirit animal may change over a certain period of time. Maybe the first 6 years they'll have a certain spirit animal, then it'll change into another. And usually, according to the shamanic tradition, each individual has one spirit animal, and people who are very charismatic and very, very powerful may attract a second. But that is the maximum, according to this tradition, that an individual may have. And that these spirit guides may change around, swap around, and move on as the person progresses through life. And an individual, if they've lived up to the age of 6, they've had to have a spirit animal, because the spirit animal protects them from disease and all sorts of other malicious things that can happen to an individual in those early years. Now, some people even say that the spirit animals are animals who are learning to become and incarnate as a human being. Some traditions say this. Nevertheless, it's interesting to work with spirit animals. Now, the final one that I want to talk about, I'm not going to talk a lot about this one because I want to make a full video on this particular subject. So the 5th class of guardian spirits I'd like to talk about are dragons. So now you may think I'm absolutely bonkers to say dragons, but why not? I don't mean dragons in a physical form like a dog or a cat, but dragons are there in every tradition that you can think of. There are Chinese dragons, there are Japanese dragons, there are Western dragons, there are medieval dragons, there are dragons in India, there are even dragons in Africa, such as Aido Vedo, which is a dragon in African lore as well. So there are dragons in every tradition, and oftentimes all of these dragon-like entities were protectors. They were known to guard treasure and also guard kings and queens and people. So this is something I will talk a little bit more in another video. It's a very interesting subject, and take it with a pinch of salt. But there's actually traditions and practices and meditations to actually work with dragons, which are meant to be very ancient and powerful energy forms that has guided humanity and individuals in humanity over a long period of time. And it's an interesting thing to ponder, and with an open mind I will talk about it in another video. So I hope you enjoyed this video on guardian spirits. If you like this, please give it a like and subscribe to this channel and click the bell icon, and I hope to see you again very soon. Peace.